Thank you for joining us. Just like we do every week, we've got a nice graduating class of security officers recently certified now. Everybody here has passed their test. They're all certified security officers. So how about a round of applause for that, right? Just like this time, what we're going to do is we're going to present the certificates. Now, if you just noticed, there are more than 3 people in here. I've got my part-timers. These guys will be back next week to finish out the class, which then they'll get their certificates then. They've actually pretty much passed all the tests already. Now they're just going to make up the 20 extra hours they got to finish out. So at this time, I'd like to call Brooke up here. Certificate on pretty blue paper. And then this way, we'll hold it like this. Caleb, who's promised not to tell his mother any of my stories. Pleasure, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Kevin, that's your first name.
No, that was the last time.
That was the last time. I just wanted to make sure, okay? And you know what I didn't do is a handshake, so thank you very much. All right. What we've been doing recently while doing the live broadcast, what we've been talking about are different subjects during the training that you would go through. Bill Jackson over there. We last time we did this, we did patrol. And what happens if you come across something suspicious or whatever? What would you do? What would I do? Blah, 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 whatever. New segment. We're going to talk about what's considered use of force and what's justified use of force. Mainly more so pertaining to the deadly force option. Especially as more and more things happen in the country, more than likely there's a chance that you could possibly have to use deadly force. Okay? So, when is it justified to use deadly force? Everybody usually gets their own definition of it. After about 160 hours worth of use of force training and response to resistance matrix. Let me show you a copy of that real quick. For over 160 hours, this is the Bible. You learn this when you're going through the academy. You're going to learn defensive tactics. That's proper escalation or response to resistance. And then you spend an additional 80 hours learning nothing but the use of deadly force in chapter 7:7, and then firearms. Now, use of force. When is it justified to use deadly force? My definition of it is if a person or persons, doesn't have to be just one person, poses the means, the motive, and has the ability to cause you or persons around you the fear of death or of great bodily harm. And then I pause right there because great bodily harm is defined as anything that's life-changing. Loss of limb, a hole in the body, stab wound, okay, something that's going to put you in a hospital for a while. Let's say you're in the middle of an altercation with someone who is outsized, is like larger than you and definitely trained a little bit better than you are. So that's the means, motive, hitting you, and the ability to do it is by both of those lined up, right? And you're starting to lose consciousness. With each blow, it's just like, oh, it's getting worse, it's getting worse. Well, at that point, I would assume that I'm reasonably justified in the use of deadly force because if I lose consciousness or you lose consciousness in this situation, you do not know if the person kicking you is going to stop. You get kicked to sleep, you don't know if they're going to stop. You've seen it before. It's knocked out. Somebody walks up, keeps kicking them, crushes his face with the bottom of their boot. That could kill you. All right? Or at least put you in a hospital, probably with some brain damage and whatnot. That is great bodily harm. Now, as security and in law enforcement, you also, getting back to where the definition is, you need to have exhausted all reasonable forms of response. Your verbals. All right, you're always giving that verbal directive. Put the gun down. Stop doing this. Stop resisting. That's your verbals. Then you move all the way up to, as you go through, what Jesse calls the ladder of escalation, and what I've been known as or what I've come to know as the response to resistance. You're going to have your verbals, you're going to have your familiar touch, your dialogue, the way that you're talking to somebody. That's going to dictate how things go. A familiar touch is going to, gauge a person's response automatically just by doing a little touch to them. They jerk away, this may become a problem, or it gains their attention and they just look at you like a deer in the headlights. Yes? Well, kind of gauge that response, all right? Move into doing counter moves, pain compliance, takedowns, handcuffs. You get into intermediate and incapacitating weapons, and then ultimately deadly force. You have to go through all of that. All right. You don't want to escalate a situation, because if you do, at that point, you're the aggressor. All right. I'm allowed to respond with force that is equal to or slightly greater than the use of force or the use of resistance, the amount of resistance applied to gain control over a suspect. And back to the definition. Being that you have exhausted all means of reasonable and justifiable use of force, and the ability to safely retreat from the area is not possible. Well, that's the stand your ground clause right there. So many people get shot in the back because they were afraid to shoot somebody because they're going to get charged with a crime. So that's how we take that, and reasonable, it's unreasonable for you to safely retreat. You're not going to be able to do so. Now, as security, you don't really have to, I would put this without sounding wrong. You don't have a duty to act like law enforcement does. Law enforcement, they're going to take that last little bit without reasonable, the ability to safely retreat. They're not allowed to retreat. They're not allowed to back down. That's what they call a dereliction of duty or abandonment and negligence. You as security, you really don't have that. And even as a private citizen, you don't have that need or not need or desire, the legal responsibility to do what you need to do. Okay? At that point is when you're allowed to use force, deadly force, if needed. Now, a question always gets posed, well, how come we got to use deadly force? Why can't I shoot to wound somebody? Okay? Gets asked every time. Action in the back asked us this time, which is fine. Okay? Sometimes your moral obligations, religious reasons, whatever, are going to stop you from making that life or death situation call. But guess what? If you wound somebody, shoot at somebody, it's the same charge. All right? You go to shoot him in the chest and you're just a bad shot and you clip him in the, in the shoulder or something, still attempted homicide, aggravated battery, no matter how you spin it. So now let's say you take that shot, right? You want to wound. So you come out of holster. Come up in your two-hand eye point. Control your breathing. Get your sight alignment and your sight picture. Get in the proper stance. Then you aim. Take a deep breath and hold. And then you squeeze the trigger. And all of that time that it had taken you to do that and take your precise shot, which more than likely, if you've never been in a life or death situation before, is not going to happen. You may tinkle a little bit. Happens to the best of them, at least the first couple of times. You're looking at a situation where you've admitted fault. You've admitted that, that you have had enough time to where you could have possibly, especially with all that time, that you could have safely retreated to a cover or concealed area, maybe called 911 and got somebody coming to you. So you're wrong. We shoot and we shoot to kill. You use deadly force as deadly force for a reason. A firearm, no matter what the intent is only considered use of deadly force, lethal force. Okay? So you use that deadly force, you don't wound, and you also do not stop shooting until your attacker or the aggressor or the person that is going to try to do harm to you or other people no longer poses a threat to you. All right? Some people are one-shot wonder. Hit them one time, they go down, they don't get back up, they de-escalate, problem solved. Some people take an entire magazine. You don't know what type of drugs these people are. I've seen meth addicts, do some remarkable stuff. Doesn't mean it's right, but I'm just remarkable as all can be. I mean, how many people seen a meth addict stay up for a couple days straight just tweaking? You know, it's just their body's going, adrenaline's going, they're constantly doing this, and they don't feel any pain. All right, they're going to be the ones that aren't going to respond to a taser or a pepper spray. The intoxicated person is probably not going to respond well to pepper spray or a taser as well. So you have different escalation or de-escalation techniques you do. And now I'll tell you this. Once you have gained compliance of the suspect, whether you have had to use deadly force, or let's say that you were able to gain compliance without using deadly force, you get them hooked up. They're they're handcuffed. All right, they're detained or arrested, however you want to spin it. That person is now your best friend. Remember, they no longer pose a threat to you or the public or the safety of the others around them. Therefore, they're your best friend. They're going to jail. You smoke? Yeah, here you go. Have a smoke. It'll be your last one for the next 4 to 5. You know, we'll call somebody here. I'm gonna dial them for you because you ain't gonna. Next time you get a phone call, it's gonna be within 24 hours from now. All right, so need somebody to come pick up your vehicle. They're your best friend. We've all seen the incident in Charleston. It doesn't get worse than that. Let's shoot an unarmed guy in the back and then lie about what happened and looks like you plant a gun on him. Okay, I hope you rot in jail for a very long time for taking a law, twisting it, and doing something wrong with it, making it fit your agenda. All right? I hope to God none of you guys are capable of doing something like that. You know, from what I gathered, taking this class with you guys, I got a good chance to know you for the past 4 days, and I don't think you guys have it in you to do that. Thank God for that. All right? Always stick to what is justified. Always act like a professional. All right? And I don't mean like act like, oh, I'm just going to act. Be a professional at all times. Professional to me, I told you my definition of professionalism and being a professional. It means that I'm going to take pride in what I do. I'm going to take pride in my profession and pride of myself. Okay? And I'm going to stand here with the same pride that I have in all aspects of everything, every point of my life, and stand here with a moral and ethical code to live by. Okay? That's how we do it. I mean, that's what a professional is. And that's how you should live your life anyway, right? I'm not telling you that you need to go out and do this, do that. Do the right thing. That's all anybody ever asks you to do, right? Ethics, morals, professionalism, respect. You'll get respect by giving respect. Okay? Your uniform by itself, if it's done properly and shows that projects that professional appearance, you'll get that respect just based on your appearances alone. You don't even have to try too hard. You know, just walk tall, just be polite. That's all you gotta do. All right. I really don't have too much to say after that. I hope you guys fully understand when you can justifiably use deadly force and then what you need to do once all de-escalation techniques have been done. Okay? And as security officers, when you do detain someone or arrest them, however you want to put that, notify law enforcement immediately that you have somebody detained you to transfer custody, because you have to transfer custody in a reasonable time frame. You can't just have them sitting there hooked up for about an hour, hour and a half while you grill them with a bunch of questions. All right? Reasonable time frame. Because if you're wrong and you handcuff somebody, they didn't do anything, you're committing a federal crime. Kidnapping. You're stopping somebody from freely being able to go wherever they want to. All right? It's a violation of somebody's civil rights. You do not want to be brought up on civil rights charges. Violation of civil rights and your constitutional amendments, that federal court case waiting to happen. That ain't state, that ain't city. It's going to hurt. All right. Now, to the Facebook community, thank you for joining us. All right, I'm Mike Fowler. I'm the instructor here at PSI. You guys enjoy your class?
Yeah.
Have fun? Definitely a little different than what you would expect, right?
Yeah.
We offer the class every week. All right, go see us online at psifortmyers.com. Don't care how you spell Fort Myers, just PSI Fort Myers, whether it's FT or FORT. Come see us. Take a look at our webpage. On the webpage, you're going to have the ability to pay for the class to save $10. It'll be $140. Come see me in person, paying cash or credit, be $150. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. Trust me, I don't like the hours either. Gotta wake up early and leave late. Feels awesome. On Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, right now we're down to about once a month. I think our next G class is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Don't hold me to it. I'm bad with dates. I don't know what today is. What we're going to wind up doing is holding a G class there. G class is $199.99, $200. $25 for range fees. It comes to $225. If you have your own gun and ammunition, awesome. If you don't, it's $300. Rent our guns, use our ammo, good to go. We'll certify you in armed security. It's 28-hour training. This is a 40-hour curriculum. Now, part-timers out there. I got my part-time crew here. Class costs a little bit more. I have to create a special curriculum to cater around your our training schedule. The curriculum set up where we hit different modules every day. Therefore, it costs $175 in person to take the class, split up over the course of 2 weeks. If not, go online, save $10, $165. All right. It actually costs us more to use PayPal. So you're saving money, but we're losing it on the back end. We also offer the concealed carry class here. $60. Cheapest around. $59, $99, whatever, you know it's $60. Hour to 2 hours worth of training, firearm familiarization, all right, demonstration of a competency and proficiency with a firearm. All you need to do is bring a driver's license, your method of payment, and just show up. We've got the guns, we've got the ammo, we've got the targets, we've got the fun times. Learn to shoot. All right, we also offer advanced classes in the concealed carry aspect. All right, shooting from behind barriers, concealed locations, how to basically how to clear your own home safely. And we're not going to teach you how to be, SWAT team guys or special forces operators. We really don't like to give that training out too freely. You don't want the general public to know everybody's moves, right? We offer that. I think the cost is like $50 or $75 an hour. Don't hold me to it, but we handle, and it's a per person basis. We also save a little bit by bringing the family in. Come see us. Come talk to us. All right, phone number here at PSI is 239-936-7044. All right, if you're interested in guns, ammunition, we're the only Glock Blue Label dealer in this area. At least that's how it's supposed to be set up through Glock. Law enforcement officers, public safety officials, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, paramedics, politicians. Like that'll ever happen. Politicians. All right, members of the Glock Sports Shooting Foundation. Armed security officers, G license officers, all right, active and retired military personnel. Come see us. For the Glock Blue Label program, it'll save you almost $100 depending on what frame and model that you decide to purchase under the Glock Blue Label program. All right, for example, a Glock 17 Gen 3, 3 magazines for Blue Label. It costs you somewhere a little over 400 something. It's Gen 3 model, 3 magazines. Usually they retail about $510, $515, $525. It all fluctuates depending on what distributor had what gun that day. Okay? So come see us there. We've got a slew of firearms to choose from. We're also a Class 3 weapon manufacturing dealer, fully automatic, short-barreled, suppressed. Right now we're out of full auto stuff, but I do have some suppressed firearms out there, integrated suppressed firearms, as well as some short barrel stuff. We got short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns. As it was put to me the other day, the shotty. There's your, I say that's kind of politically incorrect. So, yeah, I had to learn slang the other day. Come see us. We have just about anything. And anything that you want, something that you want us to get for you, we can do that as well. We usually do it with under a reasonable price. We're an FFL, so send us your stuff. That's Tactical Weapons of the Gun Negotiator. Go visit them on the web, gunnegotiator.com, right? Thegunnegotiator.com. All right. Do we have any questions from the Facebook viewers or community? No? Awesome. All right. Also, we have job placement in here. I can't say that I'm giving you a job or you're going to receive a job. I can't guarantee you. I don't know you. I don't know how your interview skills are. But every week, in every class, I have recruiters come through here from different security agencies. They are looking for guards. They're looking for officers. For all different types of posts. 2 pens and a notepad sitting in the gatehouse. riding around a patrol car, locking things up and unlocking things, right? A buddy of mine also has a good friend of mine, branch manager with another security firm, had a post out on an island. Get on a boat, ride out there, spend 15 hours overnight on an island. I mean, you're on an island, your own private island for the most part. Get back on the boat first thing in the morning, go back home. Do 2 days out there, you got 30 hours in, done. So posts like that come open, I have recruiters. I can also refer you to different agencies through here. Like I said, we have partnered with a lot of agencies. I've got Wiser, Securitas, I've got G4S, we've got Lewis, we've got Brinks. Yeah, hell, we got Statewide. I've got Professional Security Inc. We've got anybody else I can think? I've got Suncoast Security Services. I mean, we've got everybody. Road Security Services. Everybody's recruiting from inside of this classroom. Abacus, another good one. Alert, Shield. I think Shield was bought out. All right, and then U.S. Security Associates. So come see us. I have a slew of names to choose from, and people always looking for positions and to fill their positions. All right, I'm Mike.